Hello Friction Sheiks, welcome back to the channel. I am Joanna. I have been going to raves a lot recently. There's a venue like a 40-minute drive, so pretty close, and sometimes this venue has free raves, which is great for people like me and my rave group who are fucking broke but still want to go out and have fun. So, for those of you who are unaware, part of rave culture is candy trading, K-A-N-D-I, which is the beaded bracelets and necklaces, and people like either give them out if the other person can't trade, or sometimes they trade, and there's a little handshake that goes with it. Yeah. And I like participating in that because I think it's really cute and really fun, and I love seeing all of the different like beads and phrases that people add onto their candy bracelets. So it's a whole deal. It's really fun. I've been making a shit ton of candy, and I want my candy to be, you know, a little more unique than just pony beads. Pony beads are like the main staple in the candy community. I want to be a little more individual. And I've been making candy for, I want to say, a year-ish now to trade at these raves. And I have come up with some fun things to add to your bracelets and your necklaces to make them more fun. Yeah. My number one tip is anything that has a hole or you can add a hole to stick a string through can be used as a bead or a charm, which really opens up the possibilities of things to add onto your candy. My first item of inspiration is keychain charms. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Just take the charm off of the chain and close up the little loop so you have something to stick your string through without it falling off, and there you go. You have a big clunky fun charm for your candy bracelet or necklace. The other good thing about using keychains is now you have some chain links and a hook or a clip or whatever that thing is called. So now, since you have the clip, you can make candy keychains to then trade at the raves, and you can use the chain links from the chain of the keychain to do this. And this is my second tip, little plastic toys. And this is what I mean by using the extra chain links. You can hook it around a toy to then make it a charm to hang from your bracelets or necklace or whatever it is you're making. And you can of course use a whole bunch of different toys for these charms, such as the little plastic bugs. You can also add plushies, like small stuffed animals. I haven't done that yet, but what I have done, which I think is really fucking hilarious, rubber ducks. And since these ones are larger charms, I make them into a necklace. I got a bag of rubber ducks from the thrift store for like $2-3, so I thought it was pretty cheap, and I made a bunch of rubber duck necklaces, and I made all of them say a single syllable word, the duck. So this one is Jane the Duck, and then I also have like Kate the Duck and Will the Duck. I think these are so fucking funny. And the other good thing that you can use the keychain clip for is backup candy. So what I do is I take the clip, I put a safety pin on it, and I hook a bunch of extra candy bracelets onto this, and then I use the safety pin to hook it onto my hip. So if I run out of bracelets on my arm, I have backups. Along with the toys, also from the thrift store, I found this bag of little foam animals. I don't really know what to call these or what they were used for, but I saw them. They had a hole. They were cute shapes. So I figured, okay, let's put them on candy bracelets. This one's a little chain. There was also like cats and a couple other different foam shapes. I did add on a chain link through the hole because I thought this hole was kind of too far from the edge and it would hang really weird on the string. So that's why I added the chain link to make it hang a little bit neater. I am adding these next three things into the toy category because I don't really know what to call them, but out of the piñata from one of my like sex ed events on college came these little pacifiers that I put onto candy bracelets to make as a charm because I thought they were really cute. And then I added little puns with letters. So with the pacifier one, this one says crybaby because pacifier, baby thing. And then for the tiny plastic babies, I used phrases like wrap up, use protection, use a condom, because I think that's hilarious. And then the third thing, at the dollar store, I found a bag of these tiny plastic baby bottles. I don't really know if that counts as a toy, but there was a hole here, so I used it as a charm. And I also put puns on these as well. This one says bottle it up, and then other bracelets that I use these little black plastic bottles for said things like rave babe, rave baby, cry baby, other baby puns. Moving on, we have rainbow loom. To make your rainbow loom a little more interesting, I recommend adding beads or charms onto your rainbow loom like you see here. And then if you want to be extra fancy, you can add beads and decorative buttons like sewing buttons. You can add those on as well. I found a pretty decent sized kit of rainbow loom at the thrift store. If you caught on to the theme here, I highly recommend going to the thrift store because I have been doing fantastic with finding bags of beads and also bags of things to use as charms, such as the toys and the rubber ducks and the foam animals. So definitely check out your thrift stores. You can find some pretty interesting stuff there. And of course with rainbow loom, I know you can make really intricate weavings or stitches, whatever they're called. I haven't learned how to do any of that, so all of my Rainbow Loom candy is that one really simple stitch. Moving on, take your tiny shot bottles, take off the label, and then fill it with glitter and confetti and little bits and pieces of broken beads, and then call it rave juice and put it on a necklace. I fucking love making these. I think these are so funny. I am really bad at giving out necklaces at raves because I kind of forget I have them on. I'm much better at handing out the bracelets. But these are so fun to make, and I think they're like stupid funny by filling an alcohol bottle with glitter and then calling it rave juice. Side note, don't throw out your broken beads. I sometimes get bags of beads from the dollar store, and since it's fucking dollar store, some of the beads will be malformed and I can't actually use them as beads. Don't throw them out. Put them in a tiny bottle and use it for rave juice. Also, you can get these for free, actually, tiny empty bottles, because people are fucking awful little litter bugs and will throw out these tiny bottles like out of their car windows. You can find them on the sides of roads. I personally find these very often at the lake by my house and also in the bushes outside the liquor store. So if you don't want to get drunk or don't want to spend a bunch of money buying alcohol just to keep the tiny plastic bottle, start rummaging through bushes and trash cans. You will easily find them. And also, if you don't want to use the entire bottle, these thin metal, I want to say it's aluminum, I don't know, but these thin metal caps, you can fold down the back or even cut off the back actually, and then poke a hole in the top of it, and then use just the cap as a charm. And I have done that before. Here's some of those bracelets. And for the rave juice label and all of the tiny drawings and stuff, I used acrylic paint pens for that, and then to seal it, I coated it with clear nail polish so it won't chip off the plastic. And another thing you can put on candy necklaces, fun-shaped stress balls. I got this for free at some like office convention thing that I went with my mom. She was going for work, and it's like, as cute as this little guy is, I'm never going to use it. So I poked a hole through it with a needle, and now it's a candy necklace. My next item to use as candy charms is more trash, soda tabs. So you can use these in a couple different ways. You can use a single soda tab as like a little embellishment and then hang a charm or something off of the other end of the soda tab. I haven't done that yet, but it's like in my head. Or you could do what I did on this one. You just have a soda tab every, I believe I did 3 beads or 4 beads, and that looks admittedly kind of junky, but also kind of cool. Or you can use one tab every three or 4 beads, whatever pattern you want to use, and then make another separate string going through the other hole. So now it's like a cuff bracelet. And I think those look really fun. I haven't done this yet, but it's been in my head for a while, and I think it would be really fun, is take wine corks and then drill a hole through it long ways. Or I guess you could do it short ways too if you want to like have it dangle, but in my mind I'm thinking drilling the hole long ways and then putting the thread through that, and then of course filling up the rest of the thread with beads. I think that would make a really fun, kind of chunky candy bracelet. My next item is fortune cookie papers. Since they are paper, you definitely need to protect them, so I cover mine in tape. Laminating them would definitely be better, but I don't have access to a laminator machine, so I just cover it in tape, and then I hole punch the end, and then I put that through the thread, and then you get this. And I think that's really cute, and I fucking love fortune cookie papers. I think they're adorable, but I never knew what to use them for until I started making candy. Now they're a candy charm. My next item is straws. You can use these 2 ways. One thing you could do is cut the straw horizontally, and then you will have a very, very large whole bead as is. String that through the thread. Just be careful what other beads you put on that candy, because again, since the straw has a very, very wide hole, other beads will go through it, which could be a really cool thing if you have a bunch of small beads and then one single straw bead, and then it'll be like a little fidget because you can move it all around. Am I explaining this well? I don't know. But if you don't want the straw bead to move over all of the other beads, then make sure you use larger beads so the straw stays in place. And the other thing you can do is cut the straw vertically, roll up the plastic sheet, and then melt the edges with a lighter, and then you have plastic beads. Like this. And the good thing about this method is you have much more control over how big the hole is. These orange ones are Dunkin' straws. This yellow one was a boba tea straw, and I forget what the blue one was. And you can do the roll and melt the edges method with a bunch of different types of plastic as well. For example, on this candy bracelet, these little clear beads are really thin sheets of plastic, like a plastic bag from packaging.
Here I am actually making those tiny clear plastic beads. This plastic was actually the bag for a hair tinsel. Anyway, here I am rolling up the plastic. Make sure the edges are even with each other, there's nothing sticking out. Then melt the edges together with a lighter so it doesn't come undone, and be sure to hold your bead with tweezers so you don't burn yourself. Since this is really thin plastic, it's easy to cut down to size after I've rolled and melted it. However, thicker plastic, I would recommend cutting it to size before you roll and melt it together.
I haven't tried this, but I have heard of people rolling up fabric as well, like rolling up a small sheet of felt and then wrapping thread around it to like tie it into place, or using glue or stitching it closed or something. The point is you can make rolled beads out of multiple different materials. Just get crafty. The next item is buttons. Now you can use fancy decorative buttons such as these or this little cactus here. See, there is a loop in the back to put the thread through. You can use shaped buttons like this, or I haven't done this yet, but you absolutely can use your average circle button. Just again, loop the thread through the holes and then fill the rest with beads, or if you want to make a whole bracelet out of buttons, have at it. If you want to make some noise, use bells. Obviously, you're going to need bells that have a loop at the end to put the thread through. Again, anything with a hole to stick a piece of thread through can be used as a bead. So this one have little bells on it. I think it's so cute and so fun. Also, by the way, this is another pun. I added a cat charm to it, and this one says fur baby. These bracelets I really love. I think they are so cute. This is your average gift bow that has the square of either plastic or like thick paper on the back of it and has a staple. And you want the ones that have a staple on the back of the little square thing, because take pliers or something and lift the staple up ever so slightly, and that'll give you the hole to put the thread through. And then I always like to write with letter beads, "You're a gift," because gift puns. I think the gift bow on your wrist looks really super cute. So that's a really fun idea. This one is kind of junky, but I think there is a certain humor to it. Plastic spoons or forks or even knives, really, as long as they're not sharp and gonna hurt people. But this is another recycling one to keep plastic out of the trash. Just take your plastic, whatever utensil, drill a hole at the end, and then put it on like a charm. And I always write little puns on these bracelets. This one says, munch munch. Other ones have said, ami nami, om nom nom, eat me, pussy eater, ass eater, because food puns. I think it's fucking hilarious. All of these bracelets are very much jokes. My last specific item is to use keys. Now you can use real keys that are of no longer use, or fake plastic keys or whatever, but I've only done this once, and here is that bracelet. I fucking love keys. I don't know what it is, but keys are cool. So I put it on a bracelet, and then with letter beads, I wrote key to life, because again, I love puns and making the saying match the charm. That's it for my specifics, and now on to more general miscellaneous stuff. Of course, you can use actual jewelry charms from like the craft store. So here's some of those. This one has a little starfish charm. Here we have a blue gem charm. This one's a disco ball and says, I think it says Dancing Queen. Yeah, Dancing Queen. And lastly, a little flower charm. Similarly to the keychain charms, I think these actually were keychains, but one specific type of keychain I like to use are fidgets. Like this one has little poppy things because it's fun to play with. And then this is the same concept, but it's shaped like a duck and it has little poppy things. Yeah, I think fidget toys are great to put onto candy bracelets because I feel like ravers would fucking love to just mess around with those things as they're jamming out to the DJ. Another obvious one is perlers, aka melty beads. Make whatever shape you want and then melt it and then stick your thread through it. I have been doing pretty good with finding perler beads unused, obviously, in bags in the thrift store as well. Once again, always check your thrift stores. Here's another miscellaneous general one that I don't really know what category to add this in, but here's an egg. I was at the dollar store around Easter and I found this garland of plastic eggs. So I cut them off of the original twine thread that it was on, and then I stuck a thicker type of string into the hole and used some glue to secure it, and now I have an egg on a bracelet. I forgot to mention this one, but this is a rhinestone that I got from the dollar store. You can also use shaped rhinestones if there is a hole for you to put thread through. So these ones are butterfly shaped, obviously, and you see how the antennas are attached to the wings. That makes two little holes for me to put the thread through. And now there's a butterfly on my bracelet, and I made all of these say evolve because butterflies evolve from caterpillars. Again, puns. Also, I haven't done this yet, but here's an idea. Croc charms. I'm thinking tie the thread around this back base here, and then it should be laying flat like this.
I just realized some of my footage is missing, but similarly to rolling up plastic, you can also roll up paper. Cut paper into strips, put a line of glue down, roll it up, and then I cover it in 2 coats of clear nail polish to protect it. On the left image, I circled 3 of the paper beads, but all of the beads that look like that are paper beads. They are wrapping paper that's silver and blue roses. Then on the right, all of the E's I made out of paper. I am consistently running out of letter beads, but I don't want to keep buying entire bags of mixed beads only to need like 3 letters, so I've just been making all of my letter beads now.
2 little tips I have for you. 1, those beaded necklaces that have the fake pearl beads, but the beads are like glued to the string so you can't actually move them or take the thread out of the bead. Yeah, I cut that up so it's just singular beads, and that is another thing that I add into my rave juice bottles, because since I can't use those beads as beads, I use it for this. Another tip is when you are in any sort of craft or jewelry store, always look on the floor. Anything that is broken or out of its packaging and on the floor, I say is fair game. Free beads or charms. Also, if you have access to a drill, definitely use that, because that is how you can turn non-bead or charm things into beads and charms. I think that's everything I had to say. So in general, be crafty, use your noggin. Anything that has a hole or you can add a hole to it can be used as a charm. Have fun with making candy. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, click the link to my link tree in the description where you can find all of my other social medias, and I'll see you at the next video. Remember, peace, love, unity, and respect. Have fun at raves. Okay, bye.